Hi, my name is Danny Green, and this is my freedom story. I started off with a life of very little spiritual or faith. My parents were agnostic. I was baptized as a Lutheran as a child. My dad even told the priest there that he couldn't guarantee that he would raise me into a Christian or spiritual person. He was going to let me decide on my own. I did have a little bit of church throughout my life. My neighbors, sometimes I'd go to church with them, and they were just a different kind, and it didn't really set well with me. So it kind of actually pushed me away. But as I grew, I did read Revelations because I knew there was good and evil. But I didn't know if there was God or what it was. But I did believe in good and evil. And I made a choice to choose to be on the good side. But as I grew into science. I was a science person. I majored in biology in college. And I saw, as I studied biology and genetics and microbiology, I saw the complexities of life. I mean, just the integral details of how a cell works, even the little things in cells, organelles, are so complex. They're almost mind-boggling in complexity to any type of creation. So creation itself I knew was beautiful. And I still didn't know if there was a God. But one day on my way from school to get something to eat for lunch, I was going into the passenger lane, and I heard a voice say, "Look." And I looked, and there was a car in my blind spot. And if I would have not looked, I would have been in a wreck, guarantee it. And I thought, where did that voice come from? It came from somewhere. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I realized, oh my God, I believe in God. So at that point, I knew there was a God, but I wasn't sure what to believe in. So I went on a journey for faith and spirituality. I looked into Buddhism. I looked into Islam. I looked into Judaism. But I wasn't sure. I just thought, hey, there's a God. I got to figure out something. Well, I got married, had kids for the first time. I went to church basically to thank God. It wasn't really anything, but I was still bound by all this other things in the world and trying to look by learning about God. So I went on a quest, and I started reading the Bible and understanding it. And when I read the New Testament, I found this person, Jesus. And when I found him, it really transformed my life in the fact that I saw everything in a different way. It wasn't like in Judaism where you had all the laws and the restrictions, but you had a new meaning. One thing that how I knew come to really know Jesus was I was praying. And there were some turbulent times in my life. But I knew that if I was going to get through it, I couldn't get through it on my own. Because that's one thing I learned in all my reading and all my knowledge was that if we were going to be a true believer in Christ, or God, period, that we could not do this on our own. I needed some help. And I knew I could not, because I could not control the earthly things. So I started praying, and I was actually, I don't know whether through my own imagination or whatever, but I was thinking about Christ and contemplating the sacrifice. And it was almost as if I was put at the foot of the cross. And I could see Jesus at the cross. And he put me there. And he said, I did this for you. So these things that you do in life, do them for me. And it transformed my life. I saw things differently. In the past, I saw things as success as things that we gained here, things that we owned, our job, our degrees. But now, when I look at it and I listen to Jesus, I don't see that way. I'm not bound by those things. I'm bound by building treasures in heaven, by following him because he so much put me at that cross that my life has never been the same.